Why do millions of people watch a man with a camera walk through snow or trace the edges of power on a map? This is the story of Johnny Harris, not the travel vlogger, not the journalist, but the architect of narrative immersion. And if you're a creator or just someone trying to make sense of this noisy world, you need to understand how he does it. Because beneath the maps, the drone shots, and the casual humor is a formula. And I created custom AI to find that formula. A formula built on 3 pillars: story, vision, and trust. Every Johnny Harris video begins with a problem, a question, a tension. Not because it's trendy, but because it works. He doesn't give you the answer, he gives you a reason to stay. And then he makes it personal. That's the first move in his playbook, a personal anecdote that invites you in, not as a viewer, as a companion. He doesn't just report the story, he is part of it. Then, like a magician, he segments it. Complex global power structures, he turns them into chapters with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Why does it work? Because our brains are wired for story. And Johnny Harris tells stories like he's lived them. Johnny's words tells you what's happening, but his visuals show you why it matters. In Greenland, the crackling ice underfoot becomes a metaphor. In Qatar, a glowing map isn't just design, it's diplomacy visualized. Every frame is chosen with intent. Every description crafted to make you feel the place. Why does that matter? Because viewers don't just want information, they want immersion. And Harris delivers that, not through gimmicks, but through alignment. His language, visuals, and pacing all speak the same emotional truth. Most creators talk at their audience. Johnny Harris talks with them. He shares his doubts, his curiosity, his missteps. When he's unsure, he says it. When he changes his mind, he shows it. And that transparency, it creates something rare: trust. He's not the professor, he's the peer. So what can creators, aspiring or experienced, learn from all of this? Start with a hook that creates tension. Make it personal but not performative. Break the story into clear, digestible segments. Align your visuals with your emotional narrative. Speak with your audience, not down to them. Be transparent. Show your process. Invite trust. These aren't tricks, they're choices. Deliberate choices that make the difference between content and connection. In a world saturated with information, Johnny Harris does something radical. He makes us care, not just about the facts, but about the forces shaping them, the people living through them, and the stories behind them. And maybe that's the lesson. It's not about being everywhere, it's about seeing deeper. Because when you tell a story right, you don't just change minds, you change the way people see the world.